Hello, my name is Jimmy, and this is the 2022 BMW X3 M40i. The X3 is BMW's third in its SUV range. I mean, that's why it's the X3. You got the smaller X1 and X2 beneath, the X4, the coupe version of this. Then there's the 5, the 6, as well as the 7. I'm sure sooner or later they're gonna come up with an X8, and that's gonna be like a coupe version of the X7. I think that would look kind of cool. Anyways, we're here to talk about this. For 2022, BMW have massaged the vehicle a little bit to make it look, well, a little bit more updated. We got a brand new fascia on the front. There's new headlamps, new kidney grills. Yes, they are bigger than before, but at least they're not as big as the 3 or 4 Series. There's also updated front bumper. I think it's a pretty smart looking vehicle up front. On the side, we got 20-inch wheels. Overall, the body is basically the same as before. A little M badge on the side to let you know it is an M vehicle. Being the M40, I do have the M-style mirrors here as well. Blacked out roof rails on the top. And then back here, we also get an updated rear end, which features these Halo-inspired, or at least I like to think of them as Halo-inspired tail lamps. If you don't play Halo, there's an energy weapon, a sword, that's basically the same shape as this. I think that's kind of cool. On the bottom, we do have different exhaust tips as well. Overall, I think it's a pretty good looking vehicle. The update, I think it did what it needs to do to keep this X3 nice and fresh. Let's take a quick peek at the inside here. With 28.7 cubic feet, it's actually a decent amount of space. There's some hooks on the side for your groceries, and it's not bad. The seats, well, they fold down 40, 20, 40 so that you can have a middle pass-through, which is certainly nice. Let's take a look at those rear seats. In terms of backseat room, I'm 5'11" and I got plenty of headroom, plenty of legroom. It's actually quite accommodating in here. There's actually a lever on the side so I can lean back a little bit more if I like as well. The only thing that is lacking is, well, heated seats. I don't get heated seats back here, which is odd. I do have ventilation ports along with USB, as well as baby shades on the side, which is nice if you're carrying children. And if you are carrying children in your X3, well, I have a separate video linked on the top here where you can take a look to see exactly how a Kleck Ling, an infant seat, as well as a Kleck 5, a rearward facing convertible, fits inside the X3's cabin. It actually fits, well, great. There's really no problems. There's plenty of space within the vehicle for your child seats. But let's head to the front seats because this is the M40i, which means this matters. Let's take a look. The front seat. This is where business is. These seats are super comfortable, they hug you, and there's adjustable bolsters to really hug you when you want it. They're actually very adjustable, they're very comfortable as well. The seats themselves are heated, but that's really it. In front of me, pretty typical BMW steering wheel. It's like thick with like 4 C's. They look great though. I do love the stitching that's inside. You got all the buttons that you need and really nice paddle shifters behind it. And behind that, there's a beautiful digital cluster. It's very similar to a lot of BMWs. You got the reverse rev counter on the one side and a speedometer on the left. It works well though, it looks great, and there's a lot of information that it does show. The only thing is, unlike Mercedes, as well as some of the Audi products, they have more configurability within that cluster comparing to this, but I think this is fine. This is more than enough of what I want to see. And if there's anything more, well, there's a really, really good heads-up display, and that shows me plenty more information there as well. And of course, the display has been updated. It's a 12.3-inch display now. It runs off iDrive 7, and honestly, no real issues here. It works the way that you expected. It is a full touchscreen, but if you're not a big fan of it, there's still the rotary knob in the center for you to control other options as well. It's just a very simple and easy to use system. I love the dedicated buttons on the bottom here, so you have the dedicated volume, as well as 8 different configurable options. And it's not just radio options. If you want like the ambient lighting, you can press and hold on it, and well, that can be the preset there. It just works. Same thing with the climate control. It's a easy to use system. You press auto, you set your temps, and it's done. Overall, this cabin, it just works. Everything is what you expected. I mean, it's really, really nice. It's a BMW after all. You get high quality materials on the top, throughout the bottom. Yes, there's some harder plastics on the bottom, but I mean, that's totally fine. Those are, the scuff points, right? But like I said, this is an M40, which means driving matters. So let's hit the road before it gets too dark. Let's go for a drive. All right, let's drive this X3 M40i. Yes, it is a brand new day. It's not the same day because it got way too dark yesterday, so didn't really work out. But let's talk about this X3. As said, M40i, which means it has a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6, 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Of course, fed through all 4 wheels through xDrive. And, well, it's quick. It's really, really quick. 0 to 60 comes in at about 4.4 seconds. That's more than fast enough for any like street SUV you really want. This is phenomenal. And this isn't even the X3 M. You can get a higher tier. You can go better. You can go faster. That's insane. 4.4 seconds and you're thinking, nah, I need a little bit more. I mean, BMW gives you that. So that's, if you want a little bit more, you certainly can. But I honestly think this M40i, it's for people who want, something that's super aggressive like the X3 M, because that can be a little backbreaking, especially on that sports driving mode. The ride is firm, I gotta admit. Even on like really, really smooth highways, it's pretty firm. But I think it's okay. It's passable for, the type of vehicle that it is. Being such a sporty vehicle, I think having this kind of ride is acceptable. But if you are going to be buying it, do take it for a test drive on routes that you are going to be driving on, because you may be surprised just how firm the suspension is. And this particular one does have the adaptive suspension, and it is currently on comfort. And still, I feel all the modulations within the road, and I certainly feel that, well, it's not as soft as the X3 xDrive 30i would be. That's definitely more everyday usable comparing to this. But something that regular version, I guess there's a regular version and a slightly higher version, this M40, just can't compare. The M40i is just, the way it handles. When you're behind the wheel here, it feels like an SUV because you're sitting high up, you have a great view of the road. But when you're in a corner, it doesn't really feel like an SUV because it doesn't roll, it doesn't dive, it doesn't pitch. It actually, stays really planted. And it's actually super surprising just how planted this vehicle is. It is an M40. It is a sports activity vehicle. So I guess that's normal. But it's so good, it's so engaging that you forget that it's an SUV. You just think, maybe it's, a 3 Series wagon, which of course here in Canada we don't get anymore. But of course, not every single time you're driving this car, you're going to be carving mountains. You're, going on highway journeys and whatnot. And the radar-guided cruise control on this, phenomenal. Sure, it doesn't do the whole Tesla fully autonomous thing where you can basically, be sleeping in your car. You still have to put your hand on the wheel, but you can almost let it do its thing. Just let it drive. You can kind of be, mind-free when you're driving the X3 on highways. The radar-guided cruise control is really, really good. Lane keep is amazing, and it also helps you switch lanes as soon as you turn on that blinker. Overall, this X3 is absolutely amazing. It is a compromise though. It's a terrific handling vehicle. It really is. And you definitely feel just how good it is on the road. And, The definition of BMW is the ultimate driving machine. This really is. But like I said, compromises, right? With all that agility and just how it feels when you're in corners, well, the ride is a little bit stiff. You definitely feel it on the road. When the roads are completely smooth, you're jiggling about a little bit. For some, that's completely okay, but for others, they may find it a little bit, well, not luxurious enough. But that's why you got the regular X3, the 30i. I mean, that one, it's going to ride better on regular roads. It has a more economical 4-cylinder comparing to this potent 6-cylinder turbocharged motor. And I think that's really it. This is for someone who wants a little bit more out of their X3, but not so much more that, well, it's in that full M category. Sure, this is fast, and the X3 M is faster, but I think this is fast enough. 4.4 seconds, let's be honest, it's quite a bit. And something new with the M40i is now there's a mild hybrid tech. So a lot of the electronics, it's just better. The start-stop is a lot smoother as well, thanks to that mild hybrid technology. And it can give you about 11 horsepower in boost, when you're flooring it. 11 horsepower isn't much, but any boost is, well, better than no boost at all. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video review, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.